Hey guys, so today I got a really awesome video to share with you. I got an awesome, incredible grouping here on the table. I'm so excited to tell you about how it all came to be, how it all ended up in my collection. It's been an adventure for sure, and it's so awesome how all this happened and took place and how these items were reunited together. I'm just so happy to have something like this, the quality of this in my collection. You guys know I've been getting heavily into 9th Armored, and this is definitely some of my most special items in my 9th Armored collection, really in my military collection, period. And so you guys are really going to like this. Please hit the like button and comment and share this video for me. I'm so excited to show you, and so I'm going to go ahead and bring you in and check out this awesome grouping. All right, so here it is. I'm going to go ahead and just pan the table first, kind of show you guys what you're looking at here. Got a nice 9th Armored and 4th Armored Ike jacket. Got a really nice, really incredible 9th Armored, 4th Armored officers, you know, tailor-made or Ike jacket. Look at that right there. Very awesome bars right there. It's got embroidered ribbons right there. Look at that. Super awesome. It's got a CIB right there. Then, like I said, 4th Armored, Captain bars, Presidential Unit Citation, 9th Armored. I'll go back to this first one here as well, just kind of show you guys. Lieutenant. And you got the officer stuff right there. And you got a couple gold bars right here. Now what I'll tell you about this jacket here is it had been stripped. Basically, I added the US, the Armored, and the Lieutenant insignias on there because they had been removed. And so I did add those on there, but I was just replacing what would have originally been there. Then you saw that one right there. Now check this out. This is awesome. It's so incredible. This is an officer's dress jacket. And just look at it. It's amazing. There's the presidential. And there's the same ribbons, you know, as the embroidered ones on the officer's Ike jacket. 4th Armored patch there. Look at these lieutenant bars here. Super amazing, very detailed, very cool. Look at that. On down. And, you know, these two officer ones here came with overseas caps. Got the captain and lieutenant right there. And, I'm so happy, I'm almost shaking. I want to just tell you guys about this. I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. So as you guys know, I've been collecting 9th Armored because of my veteran friend. Well, earlier this year, I was, you know, in contact with another collector about this jacket here. And again, you know, it did have the 9th Armored, the 4th, it had the gold bars, but none of this right here for the officer, none of it. And, you know, I got a good price on it. I went ahead and got it because it was 9th. And I noticed that it had the name McCurdy in there. And it actually has this officer's serial number. So again, McCurdy right there. So a few months later, I was in contact with another collector. And they had this officer's 9th Armored uniform that they were going to sell. And so they were telling me that it belonged to an officer in the 9th Armored named McCurdy. And I was like, man, that name sounds so familiar. And I got looking through my 9th Armored, you know, uniforms and jackets, and I saw this one. I was like, that's the same guy. It belongs to the same guy. I was like, man, that is so cool. You know, I definitely want to reunite these two. Well, that collector told me that they had heard, you know, that it was part of 3 or maybe 4 uniforms that had came out of a military museum. And what was interesting when he told me that, because he got this one from, in a roundabout way, I guess from the museum, maybe it was an auction or whatever, he got this one, and it came with the tag in the pocket, which I don't have it here, I should, but, and the tag was the exact same tag and handwriting, everything, that came with this one. And the tag for both of them said that these uniforms, jackets, came out of a military museum. And I'm like, man, that's so awesome, they're reunited. But again, this man that sold me this jacket told me there was at least one, maybe even 2 more that were a part of the original grouping. And so it wasn't maybe a couple months later, I was in contact with another collector who knew I was looking for 9th Armored and had this officer's dress jacket for sale. And he said, before he even told me a name, he said he bought it. It came out of a military museum. And I'm like, oh my gosh, don't tell me. And I asked him, I said, by chance, did this belong to an officer with the last name McCurdy? And he said, yes. And I got so excited. It also came with the same tag as the other two. So all three of them had a tag, same handwriting, came from this museum, same officer. And I was able to reunite, kind of unexpectedly, all three of these uniforms. And I'm so excited to do that. You know, I hate it when things have to break up or when they are broken up for different purposes or reasons. But I'm so thankful that now all three of these are back together. Now, there is a chance there could be one other McCurdy, you know, 9th Armored Officer McCurdy's, maybe his OD dress jacket that could be floating out there. Because I've got his, you know, his Ike jacket, his officer's Ike jacket, and officer's dress jacket. So again, there's a chance there may be one more, like his OD wool dress jacket. So there's a chance it's out there. If it is, I would love to reunite it with the rest of them. Maybe one day that'll happen. Again, it's an if it is out there, and maybe it'll come across my way. But I'm very excited, you know, to have all this. You guys can see the quality of the uniforms, and you know these two came just like you see here. And this guy's service was just incredible. And I want to tell you about him. And honestly, I'm still trying to research him, still trying to learn a little bit about him. But I do have some great information to share with you. So his name was William James McCurdy. And he was born November 12th, 1921. He passed away April 12th of 1997. He was 75 years old. And he was in the 52nd Armored Infantry of the 9th Infantry Division. Now, some interesting information is I've got 3 books here on the table, and these 2 right here I was told by a collector friend, actually the same collector friend, man, that I got this one from. He told me that McCurdy's actions, you know, revolving around you know, the Ludendorff Bridge, you know, the bridge over the Remagen, is recorded in these 2 books. And so I had to have these books. Now, this other book right here, you know, I got it. I haven't read any of them yet, just kind of flipped through the pages, but I want to read them all. There's a chance he could be mentioned in this one as well. But I want to show you guys, this book here is called Rhine Crossing Remagen Bridge by Andrew Rawson. And I wanted to show you guys this. I got the page saved right here. Check this out. It talks about, see, Second Lieutenant William McCurdy was ordered to take his platoon to the north, cutting through the woods to avoid detection. His men spotted a number of machine gun nests as they approached the Bruckhausen Road, and Panzer IV was sat squarely on the junction covering the approach roads. And then it just talks about Lieutenant McCurdy's men assaulted the position. So basically, just to summarize it, Lieutenant McCurdy had a platoon of 28 men, and they attacked and everything. And, you know, basically says his bold advance succeeded in cutting the road north of Kretschhaus. And then it says throughout the evening, the rest of Captain Worthing's men alongside, you know, such and such, moved up. So they advanced. So that's very awesome that McCurdy is mentioned right there in this book, his actions. And actually, he's mentioned on one other page here. Let me show you. Where's it at? Here we go. See, it says, as the 52nd Armored Infantry Battalion advanced through the woods toward the junction, 88mm anti-tank guns and infantry confronted them. Lieutenant McCurdy led his platoon up to the junction, directing tank destroyers forward to knock them out. So there you go. So Lieutenant McCurdy is mentioned in this book here, and that's not all. Check this out. This book is called The Last 100 Days by John Toland, and he's mentioned in this book as well. Check this out. It says, one of the young officers sent to press the attack was Second Lieutenant William McCurdy of the 52nd Armored Infantry Battalion, 9th Armored Division. It was to be McCurdy's first battle command, and he was eager to make good. As he reached the east shore, the crews of anti-aircraft batteries lining the bank shouted, "Go back, you'll be sorry." And then how were things back in the States? McCurdy and the replacements with him shouted back insults and got more in return for for some reason it made them feel better. And basically it just talks about McCurdy, he advanced his platoon and did what they did, which, was also mentioned in the book I just kind of briefly showed you there as well. So that is two documented instances of, this particular 9th Armored Officer and his service around the taking of the Ludendorff Bridge, which is very awesome. Again, I haven't read this book. I'm not sure if he's in this one, but I definitely want to read all three of them. So, it's very awesome. It's so exciting and cool. And, it's almost, I don't even know, I want to use the word miraculous, but just absolutely amazing how all this came to be. Because another thing about these three jackets here is they all three came from different areas of the country. They didn't even come from the same states. It was three different states, different basically corners of the country. And, I thank God, it might sound silly, but I thank God that it all worked out and they made their way to my collection. But like I said, I don't know, honestly, just a whole lot about his service. I'm still trying to research and everything. But hopefully, I continue to do my research and find more about him. If you guys look up, William James McCurdy, if you can find anything on your websites or resources, I've tried Ancestry, Fold3, Find a Grave, World War II enlistment and stuff. Let me know what you find. But for those of you guys that don't know, the reason I collect 9th Armored, again, I had a World War II veteran who was in the 9th. And what they did, not alone, there was other units that helped as well with the taking of the Ludendorff Bridge. And this was on March 7th of 1945. And honestly, 10 days later, on March 17th of 1945, the bridge collapsed. And basically, what was so significant about that bridge, it was the last bridge, basically, that gave an opportunity for the Allies to advance over the Rhine. And so the Germans had already blown the other bridges, and they had this one, to be blown. And they tried to blow this bridge before the Americans, the Allies got close, but it failed to actually damage and destroy the bridge. I mean, it did damage it, but didn't destroy it. And so engineers were used to try to repair the bridge and everything. And they did what they could, and it held up for 10 days after, the failed bombing. And when it did collapse, unfortunately, 28 U.S. soldiers lost their lives, including 18 of them whose bodies were never found. It's believed that they drowned in the currents and, the icy water. But again, 28 died because of the collapsing of the bridge, and another 63 were injured due to the collapse. And so, it was so important, that we crossed the bridge and everything, because we made our way. The Allies made their way into, enemy territory. And Hitler, he was so mad about it. The bridge wasn't blown. The detonation, everything failed to destroy the bridge originally. That, so many thousands of U.S. soldiers and Allies were able to cross, and tanks and equipment and stuff before it collapsed. And so there's a lot of history there. If you haven't studied the Remagen Bridge, Ludendorff Bridge, it's actually called, study it, research it, because it was a very, very key and vital thing that the Allies were able to take a hold of and everything. And so it definitely changed the course of the war for sure. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. I'll kind of pan the uniforms again. Like I said, so much really cool stuff going for them. I'm very excited, to finally get this video for you guys put together. Hopefully, I can find out more about McCurdy. Something I was actually going to show you here is his actually named right here. If you see, the name McCurdy is right there in the inside pocket of this officer's Ike jacket. And just take a look at that. Look how it's embroidered and everything. And, I have no idea where his medals are and everything. Could be, might have been sold with the museum or still with family members, not sure. But just an incredible, officer. Incredible officer's uniform. And like I said, this one right here has his name also, McCurdy. A serial number. But very cool. Super excited, very, different, I guess, than just your average, uniforms and jackets, with the embroidered stuff and bullion stuff. Just look at that right there. That's so cool how those right there match and look like the lieutenant bars here on this uniform. But anyways, guys, I hope you liked this video. Please let me know what you think about it. More videos are definitely on the way, and so y'all stay tuned, and I'll be getting back to you soon.